Welcome to a lesson with Dr. Powell. Let's find the characteristic polynomial of this matrix by using the technique that we had in the last video. Okay, so first of all, we know it's going to be an x to the fourth, and it's going to be monic. So it's x to the fourth. All right, then we look at the trace. So we add down the diagonal. You notice we get 3, and it's going to be minus that, minus 3x cubed. Now we're on to x squared. So to get So let's think about that for a minute. So to get an x squared, we're going to have use two things at a time. Now, if we use two things at a time, what do we have left over? So we kind of choose two different things at a time. So these two, let's choose. So what's left over is this part right here. So 1, 0, 1, 0, that has determinant 0. All right. Okay, we'll just kind of go through this right here. So selecting those two, we ended up getting 0. Now let's select this one and this one. And in that case, in fact, maybe just for notational sake, just so we can track what we're doing, right? We use that guy. Okay, and we got a 0. Next, we'll do this one. We'll stick with this one and that one. And what's kitty corner to it looks like 1, 1, negative 1, 0. So 1, 1, negative 1, 0. And the determinant of this is plus 1. All right. So we used these two guys. Then we use those two guys. Now let's use those two guys. So we get right what's in the middle, which is 1, 1, 0, 1. And doing that, we end up getting, we'd end up just getting a determinant of plus 1. Okay, so we've exhausted the use of this, so we just have to use what's below right here in and of itself. So we have, so using the two middle guys, we have 1, negative 1, 1, 0, 1, negative 1, 1, 0. Okay, and that'll just be a plus 1. All right, then so we use that one and that one. Now let's use that one and let's see. Okay, then we use this one and this one. So we'll end up you getting something like this. So these entries 1, 2, 0, and 1. So 1, 2, 0, and 1, which ends up just getting us plus 1. Okay. And next, the one that we haven't done yet, the only one we haven't done is these two right here, which just gets us the top one, which is 1, 0, 2, 1. Which would just be a plus 1. So adding all those up, we end up getting 5. Okay, 5. And thinking of our sign convention, so we're going to keep the sign. So plus 5x squared. All right. Next, next we're going to look at the coefficient of x. Now, to get the coefficient of x, we pick one thing at a time, and we look what's kitty corner to it. There's only 4 different locations, but in each position, what's kitty corner to it is a 3 by 3. So we can compute this 3 by 3 right here, which would be, so we have, so we have this 3 by 3, which would be, we could expand on, let's expand on the bottom right here. Okay, so we have this, so minus the determinant we have going on here, which ends up being that's a negative 4, but so a positive 4. And then this one right here, you have, that's in a positive position times the determinant, that gives us positive 1, so plus 1. So it ends up getting, so this location gives me 5. All right, now this location right here, and let's see what we're going to get. It's going to be a 1, 0, negative 1, 2, 1, 1, and 1, negative 1, 0. So I'm marking off this position and looking at what's kitty corner to it, and that's how I got this right here. Okay, so looking at that, and we can expand. I'll just expand on the top here. So we have 1 times that determinant. So that looks like a positive 1. And then we have minus 1 times this determinant, so that's minus 2 minus, so minus 2 and minus 1, so minus 3 times a negative 1 would be a plus 3. Okay, so from this guy, I end up getting, from this one, I end up getting a plus 4. Okay, we have 2 more positions to go. All right, this one right here, all right, so we're going to look at what's kitty corner to it, which ends up being 1 to negative 1. Okay, so we're looking at this position right here, right? 1 to negative 1, so we're crossing out that one and that guy. So then I have 0, 1, 0, and 1, 1, 0. Okay, right, because we've crossed out that, and just double checking. 1, 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. Great. Okay, then let's expand right here from the middle, and we see we get simply just minus negative 1, so plus 1. Okay, so we have so far we have a 5 and a 4 and a 1 contributing to this term. We also, let's take a look at the last one, which would be from this position right here. What's kitty corner to it is this 3 by 3 down here. Now this 3 by 3 down here, we can expand right on this column. So we have 1 times what's kitty corner to it right here, which is 1, and then we have a minus a negative 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So we get a 2 here. So 2 times that. All right, so it looks like we're getting a 2. Okay, so we have a plus 2 from that. So adding these together, 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So we get a 12 here. It's a plus 12, but then we're going to change its sign by our convention here, minus. All right, now how do we get this last guy? It's just the determinant, and then with our sign convention, it's going to be equal to the determinant, whatever it is. Okay, so expanding, what place looks best? I think right along here. All right, so let's do, okay, so this is a plus, minus, plus, minus. So this would be so this is a minus position, so we'll change its sign to a 1 times what's kitty corner to it, which is 1, 0. See, hold on a second. We're doing this position right here, right? Let's kitty corner to cross that out. So it's just this bottom guy right here. All right. So it's 1 times the determinant of this bottom guy. And then to do this one, we'll do another cofactor expansion. Perhaps we'll do just on the top right here. So that would be so 1 times, and then let's see, 2 times what's kitty corner to it, which is a 1 minus the negative 1, so 2. And then a minus 1 times what's kitty corner to it, which would be 0 minus 1, or yeah, so just minus 1. Okay. All right, so that was from this guy. Now let's go from this guy. What's kitty corner to it? All right, so think, cross that out, and we're gonna be left with, and write this 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 1, 1, negative 1, 1. Okay, so okay, so we're gonna have, and this is a positive position, so it's a 1 times, and then the determinant of this part, which now in this part we'll do a cofactor expansion, perhaps just on the first column. So 1 times what's kitty corner, that's 1 minus the negative 1, so that's a 2. So that's a 2, so 1 times that 2. And then you have this 1 times the determinant of this, which would be 0 minus 2. So 0 minus 2, right? Yeah. Which ends up just being, 0 for that part right there. So it's just this right here, which is 4 plus 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. So we end up getting a plus 5 here for the determinant overall. So we just put a plus 5, and we can check to see if that's the characteristic polynomial. Okay, so it checks out. I checked it. Some technology just to verify, and it works. This is the characteristic polynomial. Key here, as we were going along, you notice how we were like selecting two things at a time or whatever, then looking at what was kitty corner to it. Um, to move a diagonal entry anywhere to another diagonal entry involves a row switch and a column switch, and the two switches kind of cancel each other out with signs. So really, every time we do this, and we're looking for these coefficients, especially of the x's, so we're kind of have two things on the diagonal that we're, or three or whatever that we're moving up and down. When we're computing these determinants, we actually don't even need to worry about changing their signs ever. The only time we change the signs is as we're going, as we're actually writing down the characteristic polynomial as we go. Thanks for watching.